must be honest in terms of saying it's not just, colleges, which I think end up playing the game. I think you all face these pressures as well, right? You face it if you're, high school guidance counselors. You face pressures from parents, from principals, to give the report at the end of the year. How many top schools did our students get into? And in a sense, that continues to perpetuate the notion that there are top schools rather than the right school for the right person. What I have tried to do in my short time as president is to say, okay, having had this eureka moment, so to speak, 2 months into it, in which we said, okay, we're not going to play the rankings and the ratings game. What does it mean when you start to ignore the ratings? What are the kinds of things, if we weren't at all concerned about how we were viewed by others and how we were viewed in terms of selectivity and graduation rate and things like that, what would we do at college? What would be the dream college experience if we didn't care? And I'm actually hoping that maybe we can have somewhat of a discussion about that. Let me suggest some of the things that we've started to do at Defiance, not because we have the answers, and not because we're perfect, because we don't and we are not, but because we are trying to feel our way the same way that I think many of you are in terms of what would a post-rankings world look like. And let me give you a sense of some of the ideas we've had and some of the things we put into place, and I'd love to hear whether you think these make sense. First, I think if you don't look at the rankings, the first thing you say is personal attention is incredibly important for college students. I don't think I'm saying anything that you don't all already recognize. I have probably taken this to a level which is probably certifiable in terms of being able to, if the staff and administrators of the college want to get rid of me, I think they could probably have me institutionalized, based on how personalized I want us to be. You should know if you send a prospective student to Defiance, assuming I'm in town, that student will come over to the president's house and spend about 15 or 20 minutes meeting with me. It's a great opportunity for me to get to know the students, to help them assess whether we're the right college for them. I also then take them down the basement and we play ping pong, which I have discovered that, and this, somebody will have to do some research on this. I think ping pong acts like a truth serum. When you are there batting a ball back and forth, it is amazing the things that you will say that you wouldn't say if you were just sitting in a chair. And I have had some wonderful conversations with students and with prospective students in terms of ping pong. I must admit my ping pong prowess has gotten pretty well known around campus. Actually, one quick digression. I know that something in the universe is out of alignment. And the reason that I know that is because about 2 weeks ago, the men's tennis team at the college came over to dinner at the house. I have all the different teams and different groups, et cetera. Frankly, if the staff does not institutionalize me, my wife will kill me first. Because we basically have students over every night. But so we had the men's tennis team, and at the end of dinner, one of the seniors on the team said, "President Gordon, just for the record, let's be clear, you're clearly not tired. You seem to be in good health. Your arm is not hurting." And I was like, "Yeah, that's true. What is this?" He said, "Well, we, the tennis team, are about to take you in the basement and beat you in ping pong." And so, of course, I thought, well, tennis team, ping pong is, after all, table tennis. I'm more than twice their age. As I was going down into the basement, I mouthed to my wife the words, "The gig is up." Basically, this is it. The universe is out of alignment because I beat every member of the tennis team. I cannot begin to tell you how much street cred that has given me on campus. We also have study nights actually at the president's house, Monday through Thursday nights. I have study tables for the students. And I tell them the pro in terms of coming and studying at the house is you get free food. The con is when you're done studying, you got to play ping pong with me. We have movie night, and actually something Patrick said this morning reminded me of this. Every Saturday night we actually do a big screen in the house and show movies. And I said to the students at the start, these are classic movies, right? And now, when I say classic, my guess is you probably are thinking of the same kinds of things I am. Classic to me means Casablanca. It means Singing in the Rain. I said to the students, we're going to show classic movies. And one of the students said, oh, Ghostbusters would be great. So it's kind of like not knowing what Sputnik. So I think it starts with the personal attention. We're now actually trying to institutionalize that. And I'm interested in your thoughts of whether this makes sense. Students now, when they come for orientation, our first orientation session is actually, I think, next week. Each student is going to sit down with a faculty member, if the student is a student athlete, with their coach, with an alum, with somebody from career services, student life, with a vice president or dean of the college, and with the admissions counselor, to start working on what we call that student's personal success plan. What is your plan for making sure that you get the most, these are the most productive 4 years you could imagine in college? What is your plan for making sure that these are the most enjoyable 4 years you could imagine, within the bounds of enjoyment we want you to have, not dumb enjoyment that college students sometimes want to have? I see this kind of like the Verizon commercial, in which you buy the cell phone and then you have the whole network standing behind you. This is really the beginning of the network for students to see, okay, you're now part of a family, you are part of a team. Let's think through what it is that we need to do to make sure that things work for you. Actually, they just start working on the plan at that point. When they move in during Welcome Week, there's more work on the plan. The faculty have actually agreed that during the freshman seminar, in the first semester, that they will also be working on these plans. The goal being that by the end of the first semester, we have a joint plan, student, college, based on that student's individual dreams, which also then gives us a way each semester to be able to sit down and assess with the student, how's it going? Are there things that we as a college need to do better to help you in terms of achieving your goals? Frankly, are there things that you need to do better to help you in terms of achieving those goals? And you can imagine, as a management tool for the college, if I know this student needs to have this internship as a junior, if for some reason we don't have that contact, that gives me 2 years to work with our alumni and other networks to try to create it. So I think one piece of kind of the non-rankings concern is personal attention. I think there's another, actually several other pieces. One, we are a liberal arts college. I know many of the places here are as well. I know there is sometimes, parents sometimes give some pushback, in terms of, well, what's the value of liberal arts? And actually one of the things that I have been saying recently is the value of the liberal arts should have become even clearer to you over the last year or two with the current economic conditions. Because in a storm, it is the tree with the broadest root system that survives. That is the tree that does the best, and the liberal arts are that root system. And so especially when, I see people writing that down, feel free to use it. Especially when we're dealing with tough economic times, you want to make sure that your child is getting that broad root system. But there's been a tension in which there's been a fear that, hey, to do the liberal arts means teaching theory, it means teaching knowledge, but that if you do too much practice, too much hands-on learning, you have somehow moved from being a liberal arts college to being a trade school, or to being in vocational ed. And that, of course, is a bad thing, I guess. Frankly, I think this is a false dichotomy. I really think that you can teach theory, you can teach knowledge, and you can teach practice, and frankly, you can do the theory and knowledge better when you do them together with the practice. I mean, think of all of the recent research that has been done on different learning styles. Frankly, faculty members have traditionally taught the way that faculty members learned. But there are many students in the classroom who learn in different ways than faculty members have, and they tend to need more hands-on experiences to do that. And so we have actually tried to really think outside the box in terms of what kinds of experiences those can be. Let me give you just a couple of examples. Again, I'm sure there you have better ideas, and I hope you will share them. We actually just made an agreement with Kim Worthy, right here, the Wayne County prosecutors. Her staff has been cut, right, because of budget cuts, which you're all familiar with. We have a digital forensics major, a forensic science major, and a criminal justice major. Perfect. Our students in those three majors are now investigating cold cases for the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. I mean, think of the opportunity to take what you learn in the classroom and to apply it. The students just a couple of months ago got their first homicide case, which they are really excited about. They have to sign a confidentiality agreement, because these are confidential prosecutorial files. I know that they take that confidentiality agreement seriously because I asked one of the students working on the homicide case, how is it going? And he said to me very seriously, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. So I know they're taking it seriously. Actually, the Wall Street Journal actually just put a story about this on one of their blogs. But I think that's just an example. There are lots of other things that should be done in the classroom as we reimagine undergraduate education to tie classroom and real-world experiences together. I know we have some business classes in which students are actually doing projects for businesses. I was actually silly enough to start something called the Defiance College Partnership for Jobs, in which the college actually subsidizes the salaries of students who work for local community organizations and local small businesses. It is a tremendous win-win, giving our students for a way to make some money, giving them a way to get some experience and make contacts, and also helping the community.